All right, guys, welcome to the stream. One second here. We got good connection. We're back in Berlin. Well, I gotta say, that was a really, really nice trip. I already missed all the nature, but it's pretty green here too, so I'm not complaining. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the stream where we first review the watch list, then we trade the market open every day. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Today's Monday. Today's back in the trading week. It is the 22nd of June, and it's 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got another 15 minutes before the market opens at 9:30. We'll wrap up trading around 11 or 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the video description below. A lot of FAQs out there. If I see any more questions that come in, I'll be sure to add them to the FAQs. Yeah, I think that's everything. Let's dive into it. I made some changes here to name the accounts. I just called the kind of margin account unlimited and the IRA the 25K challenge, just to make things a little bit more straightforward. So we'll see how. I think that should be a little bit easier. Before I kind of just called it what it was called on TD Ameritrade. So as you guys can see here, EVOK, one of our lead gappers, 150% gapper to this morning, 24 million float, US drug manufacturer, FDA approval, and they got a, what's it called? Having a little bit of a brain fart right now. Analytical firm, no, it's not the word. A financial research firm. I forgot the term for it. It's like the top of my head. I just can't think of it right now. Anyway, they got a price target upgrade to $10. So those are two pretty good catalysts. EVOK has kind of run up quite a bit. So let's see how much more can go. It hit a high of 505. So long-term chart, that's a pretty nice move. We had kind of a bull flag pattern here. We broke out from that about 275, ran past this big resistance here at 320, ran all the way up here basically to 5, then pulled back quite a bit, actually around $4, bounced off that. So it was about a 20% pullback pre-market. So right here, now we're kind of bouncing off that territory. I was hoping we'd get a break of 5 pre-market, which who knows, maybe we will get. But at the moment, I was looking for this breakout. I took a trade here as we broke higher and had a pullback at 57. This one did not end up working. I cut my losses at 450. As it looked like it was going to crack. Then we had one more attempt here. I had an entry at 4.6. Relatively high, but still right above the 9-minute EMA. Was looking for a continuation. This one really got me excited, and at first I was like, I don't want to just jump on a second trade, but at the same time, we had big breakout volume, so I was like, okay, EVOK could look good. Both of them didn't work out. I took like a 1.5% loss on both, so very, very small scratches. I also used smaller position size, as I always do pre-market. That way, even with 2 losses, we could make that back with even just one okay trade at the market open. So that's why I always do have position size. Yeah, so I don't know, EVOK, I've already been let down twice on it, but I'm not totally sure if I was maybe rushing those patterns. We've had some pretty nice breakouts here. We've had some continuations. We've also had a lot of failed breakout, one day kind of failed gap ups. So, it's going to be a bit of a mix, I think, results day. But either way, today, we're breaking above huge gap down zone territory. So if we could break, the $5 area, maybe we can get into the 6, and then we'll see how far we can go. Definitely big resistance at 6 and 7. So we'll keep a close eye on those 2 areas. Right now, it looks like we might hit back above VWAP, but that was a lot of selling volume. So I'm going to be done with trading, obviously, pre-market right now, and I'll be focused on that, opening bell. SINT was another ticker I was looking at this morning. This one doesn't look too bad, except it's sold off really, really aggressively. 45% actually from pre-market highs, from 3.7 to $2. Actually, a really nice bounce off of $2. So we'll see. What I like about SINT, besides the 340+% pre-market gap, is the 10 million float. Really nice U.S. medical companies. What was it? They had positive COVID-19, Corona-19, study results. So they have some really, really positive catalysts there. But, you know, that's a really big sell-off. We have been seeing a lot of times these pre-market sell-offs that have recovered fully and then some, which is a bit weirder because most of the time that's not usually the case. Probably in summertime when trading slows down a little bit, we want to you know, be a little bit more cautious on that again. But for now, I mean, we'll see. Right now, SINT is looking like it's going to rip again. Long-term chart-wise, you know, this thing's pretty nasty. A lot of reverse splits, dilution, new shares. So you just got to watch out. It looks like SINT takes advantage of these days that have a bit of a gap up, just to, you know, dump new shares into the market. So I would probably be careful with the way SINT is going to kind of hold its highs. I think there might be a nice little morning open, but then maybe we're going to, you know, keep pulling off the rest of the day. So I'm going to be a little bit more cautious with SINT for sure. And actually, let me get rid of this alert because this alert keeps confusing me. It's like perfectly in the way. Dwayne, what do you mean by forensic? What's up, Tommy? All good over here. Hope you guys are all doing well. SINT makes you really want to do a little pre-market trade. Let's also talk about THTX as well. This was going to be potentially the third lead gapper, 80% gapper, pre-market, 76 million float, Canadian drug manufacturer with positive cancer treatment results news. I was going through the article. It sounded pretty good. Obviously, it's always really, really hard to tell with these biotechs how good the news really is or how bad it really is. So 28% there, you know, pulling back from pre-market highs. Pretty aggressive pullback, but not past the 30% mark. Kind of stuck here under VWAP a little bit. So we'll see. SINT, guys, pulling back above VWAP. This one could be a really, really nice pre-market trade. Out of the gates, I'll definitely be looking at EVOK and SINT for sure. Let's check out KTOV. Pretty nice move here. I typically don't trade the sub dollars. That's why I don't really look at them too much. They do trade a little bit kind of with bigger spreads. But yeah, I mean, it could be really, really good. Gets FDA clearance to conduct clinical studies. So good stuff there. See if we can break above the dollar zone for KTEX. IDEX is on the scanner again. This one has a pretty big high, holding its highs pretty well in this area, you've got to say. It looks like it's about to break above $3. So this might be a really, really nice open on IDEX. 128 million float, though, is pretty high. The U.S. software company, this is the one with the 4.4 order on June 19th. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was Zort car order. We were talking about this on Friday. $3.2 million order for, I just read another article about 4.4 million, but regardless, nice little catalyst. SINT, guys, is taking off. Let's quickly check BYFC. This was a big mover the day before. They sold off so much though. Hit a high of 7 and pulled basically all the way back down to 3. Now it's bouncing off of 3 and kind of hitting that $4 zone, breaking a little bit above it. I don't know if I'm going to be trading BYFC. Might be a nice out of the gate kind of mover. It is kind of trending here above the 9-minute EMA. Does have decent dollar volume. I'm not sure if it's probably the lead gapper. I think SINT might be really the one taking all the attention, but right now BYFC also, you know, former runner for several days. They all ended kind of in the red though. 7.5 million float. I don't know. We'll see. This could be a hot one. We'll see what happens. I think I'm going to keep a close eye on SINT out of the gates on the probably my second chart, and then my first chart I'll be a little bit more flexible with. No matter what happens, if I enter a trade, you guys will obviously see it. I'll make sure to call it out. You guys will also see any limit orders here on the left. Yeah, I gotta say, BYFC looks like it's definitely gonna break above 4.5. I'm gonna put an alert here. It's Monday, guys, so just kind of, you know, no need to be overly aggressive. I was probably a little bit too aggressive with that breakout this morning pre-market with EVOK. I probably should have been looking to buy dips more often. But But, you know, there was a decent opportunity. I took it, and then it didn't work out, so I just cut my losses quickly. So what are you going to do? Yep, Michael, that's exactly what we're doing. Ah, forensic accounting. No. EVOK breaking back above here. This 4.5 area is pretty key. This is where I, you know, cut my losses twice already. So it'll be interesting to watch this one out of the gates. Any sort of break above 4.6 could be really, really nice. Then obviously 4.8 and then $5 are some really key zones on this one. Then here, I got my second screen on SINT, so I'll be watching this one out of the gates. An entry around 2.5 would be really, really sweet. The problem with SINT is that extended decimal places, man, oh man, does that kind of freak me out sometimes. Let's see if we can somehow just refresh the screen and see if it maybe gets rid of that. No, it doesn't really. Thanks, TI, and what's up, Carmela? Good to have you. Close the door for a second. COHN, is this one back in the game? COHN was a big pre-market runner. Whee! On Friday, that was huge. Yeah, it's not really doing too much of anything right now. Even hit a new low. BYFC pulling back a little bit. IDEX looks kind of healthy here, right below 4.9. Maybe it's going to break out again. Got another 3.5 minutes, guys. So far, I'm just kind of relaxing, waiting for the market to open, seeing if anything else pops up on the radar. SINT still crawling higher here. Pretty nice run it's had, I gotta say. Big volume kind of came in on this one. We should have brought that 9-minute EMA dip. It's 10% move so far from there. That would have been a pretty nice move for sure. Well, Berlin was giving us the hardest time with internet speed for months, actually. Berlin's not known for having good. Actually, Germany as a whole has pretty bad internet. It's almost on the news all the time that, you know, residents are complaining about internet. We got pretty lucky here because a few months ago they laid new glass fiber cables where I live, so I got pretty lucky in terms of kind of benefiting from that a little bit. Carmel, very cool. IDEX, your son's swinging that one. That's got to be good fun to watch. AEMD, former runner. I wonder if IDEX is going to have that, you know, break of 3, some new all-time highs. Say AEMD. TTPH, that one's been a 2.6. It's just very low traded AEMD. It had some 2 big days. Yesterday wasn't that much volume. If AEMD could break above 3, I think it would put it on a lot of people's scanners again. But for now, I'm not sure if anyone's going to be trading AEMD. Morning, Heiko. TTPH. Trying to curl here. Could break above 3 again. Big pre-market action. Another 50 seconds, guys, till the market opens. I like both. I think writing software is a whole different challenge for your brain. I really enjoy my morning work on Trade Journal and other clients that we may be working on. I find it definitely has its own charm to it. David, that's funny. We've all been there. SINT, I got my second screen and EVOK on the first screen. Let's see what happens out of the gates. Good luck, everyone. SINT and EVOK both breaking higher here. Markets are all a little bit red. Big open. Whoo, huge open here. Nice move on EVOK. Maybe we could get a little dip entry on it. Not sure. SINT pulling back now. EVOK, big moves here, breaking above 4.8. That's what we were talking about. Still no trades on my end since the market opened. Just some conservative limit orders here on EVOK. Just kind of watching it a little bit. $4.79. Little bounce here off the 6. See if we can get maybe an entry here under 50s. Wasn't quick enough for that entry. 44, nice little bounce back. Let's keep watching it here. Not the biggest moves. So far, not the craziest morning, but SINT has a lot of volume here, so I'm watching SINT very closely. EVOK still pulling back. SINT and EVOK both are lead gappers in IDEX and BYFC. CARV broke below 10.5. That was one of Friday's movers as well. Nice little bounce here again off 4.4. 3%. always a little extra cautious on Mondays and Fridays, just kind of as like a general rule of thumb. I don't want to be over biased, but just, just keep in mind that maybe less traders, maybe people not totally in the groove yet. That's what I kept in mind when I was cutting my losses here. Got to cut them quickly. SINT still pulling back. Could be a little dip buy under VWAP. Keeping a close eye on that, maybe around 2.4. $35 pulling back. IDEX is breaking up. Carmela, your son's got that nice swing trade going on. Let's see how far EVOK is going to pull back in this kind of pre-market kind of environment we're in. Mid-20s or mid-teens is kind of my guess. $320, $32 might crack here. No trades yet for me since the market opened. I just had those 2 pre-market trades. $9:37 a.m. Whew. Oh, talk about getting back into the market after the weekend. Let's see here. Definitely not as hot as we've had. The last week was just absolutely insane. I'm actually kind of enjoying this kind of a little bit more chill environment right now. Let's quickly go here. SINT having that bounce off at 2.5 roughly. IDEX breaking the $3 zone. This is actually our second lead gapper on the day. Could be really interesting to watch here. This one had a nice quick pullback here after it broke the high of 285. Big dollar volume on IDEX. So I like what we're seeing. Kind of leftover news. Nothing really new today. But it is breaking some all-time high levels. All-time high at 3.3. Back with EVOK. This could be a really, really nice dip at one point. Pulling now, entering the 20s. This is kind of the first zone that we were talking about, could be a potential reversal. Back to 32, 30. I could already be bouncing in this area here. SINT also pulling back a little bit. Back to 31 for a second. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the confidence yet to buy EVOK, although some of these dips were okay. I mean, this dip right here to 34, this was a nice little 3% bounce, but not really something I would be looking at if I was in the challenge account. Could maybe get more used to taking quicker trades like that with the unlimited account, but yeah, I'm still looking at SINT too, Corey. Just kind of watching it over here. I would like to see SINT either pull back maybe to maybe 2.4 or 235, something like that. For, you know, a move back above VWAP after that. Big support at the 2.5. So let's keep watching this one. Or I would like to kind of start, you know, see this one start breaking higher. I'm not sure which one we're going to get first. Yeah, David, I just saw that. It's probably freaking good fun. IDEX, second lead gapper on the day, actually third. I'm not really looking at SHLL because of that giant market cap, but technically this one is doing really nice. A little bit above our ideal price range, SHLL. Big volume though on this one. SINT still holding a 2.6 zone, pretty all right. IDEX. This one had a really nice big aggressive pullback below 2.9, and actually my alert didn't go off, so classic TOS issues there. Hopefully someone got that dip. That's actually a move I wanted, but I was not even notified about that move, so that kind of is what it is. Do I recommend any penny stocks on TSX? Not sure what you mean by TSX. EVOK pulling back here, 425, 23. So we got that mid 25 zone we were talking about. SINT breaking higher. Toronto Stock Exchange. Okay. No idea, to be honest. Big volume on the SINT breakout. Well, it sure is tricky to get an entry on this one. I'm looking to get an entry here. I missed the EVOK actually dip under 4.2. Just because I was watching SINT. SINT is really tricky to get into. Bit of an unfortunate miss, but the bounce was never that strong. I don't know if we would have walked away with more than 2% profit. I don't know. Maybe we would have walked away with 4% profit, but whatever. Can't really dwell on that. BYFC, decent amount of volume, but this one's been selling off all morning. Could keep pulling back. Some decent dip buys on this one. I like the percent of change on it, pretty solid. SINT still looks pretty good. Could be seeing a break of 2.8 really soon here. It's a tough one to trade though. It's a tough one to trade because the decimal places, which constantly messes up my orders. Overall though, the one reason I would be really cautious with this one is that 45% sell pre-market, but I do really like the fact that it is holding its highs, now trending above VWAP. Decent buy breakout volume, not too much sell volume on the pullback. So everything is looking actually pretty good technical wise. No, Michael, it's not a secret. It is a, what's it called? Just a glove, compression glove for carpal tunnel. SINT having that nice breakout we were waiting for. Let's go back to IDEX. Really nice move on SINT. I've been trying to get an entry on this one several times actually. $9:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nice, Corey. Really, really nice move on the 68 entry. SINT looks like it's going to break the 312 area. Have a limit order on SINT. Never got kind of this one filled, just kind of sitting here. Watching EVOK. Looks like it's going to be more of a midday or mid-morning trading day for me, unless I get this pullback on SINT. You never know. Bit more volume coming in on this one. Yeah, TOS really needs to fix that problem. I totally agree. It's getting kind of out of hand. No limit orders on SINT. New limit order on SINT around 2.68. Yeah, it looks like IDEX has a bit of a bull flag forming here. IDEX could be breaking higher here. Let's see how much this volume comes up on it. We don't have a lot moving, and IDEX has some of the most volume on the day. Yeah, I feel you on that. Also, potentially good entry at that 91 zone that we just retested. Got to say, ISINT is so annoying to even try to trade that I might just stop trying to trade it. I keep having to type in my limit orders, and it's just extremely stressful. Woohoo! Nice, Heiko. Up 7 cents a share already. Really, really sweet. Big volume on that one. 304, IDEX needs to break 304. Here we go, 305, we're gonna see it. Boom, 306, 307, 08. Really nice breakout here on this one. IDEX 24% gapping pre-market, 128 million float. So this is one of the bigger stocks we're looking at. They had that big $4.4 million order on June 19th. So this one's kind of had a multi-day run so far. 28 cents, now it's at roughly $3. So basically 10x growth so far. Yeah, I'm watching EVOK. It doesn't have a lot of volume on that reversal, but yeah, I think any sort of maybe pullback could be a quick one on it. I'm not sure what you mean by SW. Nice little one. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I code every day, so no. I guess the answer is no. IDEX, another breakout here. Nice little flag pattern. Impressive run so far. So far, only 2 pre-market trades for me. I have yet to trade anything after the market open. Classic Monday for me, I guess. Some good opportunities though, just had to be quick. I missed a few pullbacks with, or not, just a few entries with SINT because of the TOS decimal place issues. I was getting my order ready, but whatever, it happens. Join the bid is always the quickest way. You just don't really know what you're gonna get filled at. IDEX, really nice breakout here at 305. Congrats to anyone that got it. EVOK pulling back a little bit here. EVOK seeing some more selling pressure in the 417 zone. Could be a bounce here, but let's see this one play out a little bit longer. 25K challenge is all about growing account to $25,000, regardless of your starting amount. Obviously, maybe starting at 25 doesn't really make sense, but we started with 4,000. IDEX having another nice pullback here. Right around 10 o'clock. Sometimes you see some really nice reversals in this area. I'm keeping close eye on EVOK. It's never really pulling back to where I would want it. I think IDEX is definitely the nicest ticker right now. I'm going to look at SINT again on my second chart. I'm going to kind of get ready for the second half of the morning. I'll be right back, guys. No, Michael, that was a different account. Right now we're at about almost $7,000 with the challenge account. IDEX, guys, big moves here. Congrats to anyone riding this one up. Woo! This is good fun to watch. We have no entry on IDEX, although wowie, would have been a pretty good idea to get one. Putting in a low limit order on IDEX. Maybe there's going to be a flash pullback. I don't think so. I'm just going to put one here. Also have it over here. I'm watching SINT. 2.7 could be a pullback here since it's just touching VWAP a little bit. Yeah, Corey, I totally feel you on that. I really don't like trading multi-day runners. I just don't, because on the second, third, fourth day, you never know when that offering is going to come out. So oftentimes I also tend to avoid them a little bit, which isn't really the best strategy because you miss a lot of good moves. And lately it's been really, really hot out here for these multi-day runners. Big move IDEX so far. Quick little pullback here. Just keeping kind of an open mind. Two really nice pullbacks on IDEX. I kind of missed these two. This was a really solid breakout that we're getting on it. It just doesn't look like it wants to stop. 5-minute chart, really wicked growth so far. IDEX up 57% on the day, EVOK 74% on the day, and SINT 244%. IDEX looks a little bit shaky in this area here. Maybe 330 is going to come in and act as a bit of support. No, who's them in? I know you asked me a lot if I've bought a stock. You guys will definitely know if I'm not. I shout out every entry, and you guys will also see any live trades happening here as well. SINT pulling back a little bit here, watching this one around 2.5 could be an interesting zone for an entry. Good question, Julio. I guess if you just stick around long enough, I talk about a lot of my entries, what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at. Price action is purely focusing on the candles and the volume and using the 1-minute and 5-minute chart and then the daily chart for support and resistance. It's fairly straightforward trading. I like it because everything else is just kind of a derivative off of that. So if you know price action, you don't really need the rest. Thanks, Michael. EVOK reversal setup. Let's check it out. 10:09, guys. Ooh, Monday's flying by. At least it feels like it for me. EVOK had a nice little bounce off of 409 roughly. All very small moves on EVOK. So $4 is big time support though. IDEX still pulling back a little bit here. Not a lot of volume on EVOK. IDEX, little pullback here. Backside of move IDEX right now. Nice trade, Heiko. That's what it's all about. Quick sell-off here in IDEX. Still pulling back here. Big buyers on that 310 zone. EVOK could be breaking 4 any moment. IDEX trying to break through that 9-minute EMA. Same with SINT. Possible SINT entry on any sort of pullback. Want to be careful though on it. IDEX could see a bit of a pullback here. Another one under VWAP. This was the first trade. Actually, we actually had a limit order at 311. So if I left that, that could have been a nice little bounce here. Only went up around 3%. So would have been a kind of a tricky one to pull off if we were looking for bigger profits. And that's a trade that in the $25,000 challenge account, I would not want to really be doing. SINT pulling back. Whoo! SINT just had a really vicious pullback. Watching it right here. No news about it just yet. Just got an entry at 35 on EVOK. I mean, SINT. Sorry about that, guys. Looking for a potential move back here. Ideally over 42. Closed this position on the 40. Didn't get that bounce as hard as I wanted it to, so I closed this position using the join the ask and join the bid. So good thing we took those profits very quickly. Only 5 cents a share on that trade. A little bit risky, I gotta say. Was thinking about buying this one again on the next dip. I just didn't really trust how it was pulling back very lightly, so I thought maybe I'll give it a bit longer. Also, don't see any news about this one. I'll just give it a little bit of time here. Thanks, Heiko. Husman, where'd you take that loss? What was that? What was the issue? I don't know. SINT is kind of since the beginning, guys, it was pulling back over 45% pre-market. That's why I was so nervous about it. I never really had that full conviction behind SINT. Looks like it's pulling back again here. Oh yeah, Dylan, there's a bunch to learn. SINT is just really inconsistent with its breakouts. That's why I never really was trading it on the breakout. Buying this pullback to 2.5, I'm not really sure why I didn't trade it here. This could have been a really good way to kind of open the day. So these backside dip buys, you got to be really careful with. Take your profits very quickly. Because oftentimes you don't see a move over 4%, and then before you know it, you're down 5%, and it's just not really a fun place to be. Not to mention the decimal places are so easy to trip over yourself. Ooh, IDEX, guys, pulling back here. IDEX always has these really sketchy related articles coming out about it. I'm never a big fan of that. 10:24 a.m. Big old IDEX VWAP bounce. FRAN kind of popped up to our list. Is anyone else watching this one? I was missing it pre-market here, but it's finally started getting some dollar volume, 66% up on the day. Big resistance at about 8 with the 180-day moving average. I think it's halted. Yeah, it's halted as well. Not sure. Looks like they got some funding. No, wait, no, that's American Airlines. My opinions on SINT is freaking beware. I don't know. Looks like it's pulling back one more time here. Or I don't know if it's one more time, but again, that's probably a better, more accurate way to describe it. It almost feels like some news came out. Oh man, right as I say that, a news article does pop out. Even if it's good news, it tends to have a sell-off effect across the market or on the stock. Doesn't really seem positive or negative. It just kind of feels like a general comparison. PE ratio that it's trading below similar company PEs, but for medical companies or biotechs, it's always kind of tough to value that, in my opinion. But looks like it's recovering a little bit from that news sell-off, but lower volume so far. Coming back to IDEX, having that VWAP bounce. Be careful here because these often don't last very long. 9-minute EMA came in as some big time resistance, smacking back down the price. SINT and IDEX are both pulling back right now. Definitely some big support in the 90s. Let's see how far this thing's going to go back. See you guys saying EVOK is trying to curl. I'll definitely check that one out next. Yeah, I see it. EVOK, 5-minute new candle high as well. Pretty good stuff on that. Could use a bit more volume, I think, on EVOK. Is ATOS making moves? Oh yeah, it is. Good call out on ATOS. 9-minute pullbacks. Everything looks really, really good. $4, definitely some resistance. Doesn't look like it has a catalyst, which doesn't seem to matter anymore for trading stocks. I don't know what's been going on last week. Huge resistance at 4. IDEX could be a good pullback candidate at one point. I don't like the fact that this stock is so overextended on the daily. It's had such a big move, 10x move. Gets a little bit scarier after 10:30. Yeah, the problem with the buying the dip is the percentage returns on them aren't as high. So you oftentimes it's a little bit. It's hard to do with a well, not necessarily hard to do, but it's a lot to wrap your mind around with a small account where you're limited on trades. That was one of my biggest issues with the challenge account. With the dip buying, because I try to squeeze out every possible percent on the dip buys, which is not really what you're supposed to do. So SINT, I probably would have had, this probably would have been a red trade for me on the challenge account. Because I would have looked for one little bigger move into like the 42s, and then all of a sudden I'd be red and close out for a red trade. But since I had the unlimited account, I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. This one's looking very weak. I'm going to get out. SINT was the lead gapper in the whole market, pre-market with 347% gap volume and 10 million float. So it was with a catalyst, a Corona 19 catalyst. That's why it has so much volume today. But I would probably argue that SINT doesn't have that much volume, as much volume anymore, and it's looking a little bit like it's losing its flair quite a bit. Also, pre-market also had these huge sell-offs that I think scared a lot of people away. So it's kind of how I feel right now with SINT, just a little bit cautious overall. Put some alerts on it. IDEX, wow, this one really held that VWAP much better than I was expecting it to. High of 3.5. If you guys remember, IDEX has one of those, I just poked myself with my charger. I thought I got a bug bite for a second. It freaked me out. With that high of 3.3, I think that 3.3 was the all-time high. So IDEX did make an all-time high today. It'd be really interesting to see if this one breaks a new all-time high. Spencer was wondering, SINT hold or trash? I think right now it might be seeing a bit of a reversal. Maybe it's even going to get past the 2.4. Not a lot of volume though, so I probably would not be trading this one yet. That's my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if the 9-minute EMA wasn't hold, or it might even do a retest here of this support zone, but I don't know. For day trading it right now, it's a little slow unless you're looking for maybe some dip buys and some things like that. I gotta say though, SINT on a daily, I like it more than IDEX because it's the first green day, which makes me feel much more comfortable about trading it. While IDEX has been just running up and could really, really have an aggressive sell-off at one point. EVOK doesn't look too hot. Honestly, this big crack of 410, roughly 405, 410 was really, really bearish. It had a big volume on the crack as well. So this is more a retest to me than an actual reversal. So I'd be very cautious with EVOK for sure. So far, it's just pulling back and it might keep continuing for a while. 3.5 definitely will act as a bit of support though. See, this is what I was worried about on SINT. Instantly pulls back below the 9-minute. This doesn't look too healthy. We'll see. Wow, today's a real case of the Mondays in the small cap world, especially compared to last week. This is why you don't want to, think, okay, Monday it's going to be just like last week. Let's hit the ground running. Sometimes it's good to ease into it one day. IDEX looks the best intraday. FRAN. It's definitely getting good volume into FRAN, so that's a good sign. Having that break of VWAP retest right now. Whew. NAKD has been making quite the amount of headlines. I had a friend that recently told me about NAKD that was actually, used to shop there, and they don't seem too excited about the company as a whole. So maybe something to consider if you're swing trading or investing in a stock that you don't use yourself. Maybe talk to somebody that actually uses the product. Always get some really good information from them, why they stop using it, etc. And if clients generally don't like a product, then it might be good to not invest in that company as well. Seems pretty straightforward, but it's a really good investing advice that Peter Lynch talks about a lot in his book, One Up on Wall Street, just kind of investing in what you know. Obviously, on this channel, on these streams, we're day trading. It's totally different than investing, but I know a lot of you guys are always asking about swing trades and whatnot, so always a good thing to keep in mind. IDEX is picking up here. It is past 10:30. You want to be really careful past 10:30 on multi-day runners, guys. Really, really careful. I'm going to put an alert here, see if we break it back over 3.3. I'm going to also put an alert if we break below 314, or actually 313 maybe. SINT pulling back as well. A lot of buyers on the 25, but once that gets chipped away, if it does, could be another bit of a downturn for SINT. Not sure if it will, just some thoughts. Oh, literally as I say that, SINT breaks 25. Big buyers on the 22. IDX is leading with quite a bit of volume, $300 million on the day. Nice move so far on IDEX. Oh, did you see that volume pop up? 3,000 buyer, not 3,000, 30,000, I think it is, right? Yeah, 2 zeros. So 30,000, 35,000 on 315. It's quite a bit of buyers. Ooh, huge sell volume just went through on IDEX. Kind of makes me wonder, are we holding any IDEX? We're not holding any. Do we have any limit orders? We're not holding anything in the challenge account yet. Interesting call on NVTA. Looks like they're trying to acquire a company. Problem with NVTA is it's just not moving that much. SINT pulling back here, 215 right now. EVOK pulling back as well. A lot of support zones are being cracked at the moment. No catalyst on BMRA, but it is moving really rapidly. Volume just flooding into this one for the first time. I think we were trading this one not even too long ago on my other account. This 818 area is an interesting spot to keep an eye on. Big breakout here. Nice continuation. 7%. 56 could be an entry. Woo! Instantly back to 69.70. That was a lot of selling aggression. Instantly pulling back here. Not sure what the float is on this stock. You got to be so quick on it though. IDX has just so much volume behind it. It's kind of fun to watch it. 9 million float. Thanks, Anthony. 9 million float on BMRA. Yeah, the volume on IDEX is just huge. Although last week we saw some big volume too. By like noon, we saw like 600, 700, 800 million dollar volume. It's just been pretty hot out there. SINT, guys, is on its 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5-minute red candle in a row. IDEX would have been the one to get hot on, more aggressive on earlier. When we had this breakout here, I was way too conservative looking for an entry. I could have got one actually here at 97. I think I had a limit order here, but I really should have just jumped on this one, on this $3 pullback. This was perfect. 5% move, taking profits once, and then another pullback here. This would have been a really, really nice, this one would have been a killer move. I mean, like 10% would have been absolutely wicked on IDEX. So really kind of dropped the ball there. Had a good red to green move as well. IDEX pulled all the way back to 2.6 and then ripped up here 15%. So several good moves on IDEX for sure. Well, up Corey, well, let me know if you do it because I think it just did. Had decent volume on that break. Guessing this is kind of the trend line you were talking about, more or less. Small size. Yeah, I feel you on that. Wow, those are some big sellers there on the 30. $30,000 shares right there. So basically $100,000 we got to break through on the 330. Second attempt here at 330. Ooh, 40,000 shares all of a sudden. Boom! Big old breakout. You. I'm basically at my max low size dizzy, but that's always a good point. It's always a good point. I have been more cautious. Woohoo! Good call, Corey. Look at these alerts on TOS just absolutely not going off. We could see some big moves with IDEX. It's already at $324 million volume. To me, it's still a little bit overextended here. SINT, guys, had a really nice bounce off of 209. Right now back at 230 almost. SINT, potential entry at 211 or 212, something like that, watching it. I'll review some of the stocks later today in the recap video if I'm looking for any swing trades or anything per se. SINT could be a swing, but I'm not sure. I would like to look at it a little bit longer, think about it. Has some really aggressive sell-off, so I'd probably look for a really conservative entry on it if I was swing trading it. But it does have some good coronavirus news potential. What was that? They had like some sort of silicon nitrate powder effects, some study on it. IDEX, a little bit of a weak breakout here. A lot of big spikes on the sell volume. IDEX is a fun one to watch here. Just not sure if it's going to work out. IDEX trying to break out here. SINT pulling back a little bit. Some buyers at 218. Yeah, typically not. SINT pulling back here, 216 now. Went all the way down to 214 and then looks like it's bouncing. Had a limit order at 212. I went ahead and removed that one. Look at that. IDEX is breaking out higher here. Whoo-hoo! EVOK is still kind of piled up with those sellers, huh? Checking out FRAN again. This one's been selling off. Thought maybe $5 would see some support. Looks like 550 had some support, but not too much. Have a limit order on SINT on the 10 to 10. IDEX might break 350. That would be an interesting spot for IDEX to go into. IDEX right now looking like it's gonna have a bit of a pullback. I'd be careful for bigger pullbacks. It's been a bit weak, so just definitely be a little bit careful when you try to snag one of these. Gotta say though, IDEX is very clean. If this was a first day, I'd probably be jumping on this one left and right, but it's not. So that's why I'm a bit more cautious with IDEX. Oh yeah, look at this thing. Absolute rip, 40%. Hit that 2.6 like ding perfectly, and then had a little bit of a sell-off. SINT pulling up a little bit here. Anyone buying this dip here? So this one just came out with the news about a minute ago. Expansion system for some NVIDIA. What can boost computing performance by 20%? That sounds pretty sweet. That's what I need for my trading computer. Company's not doing too bad. It has that big resistance at 2.6, but if it breaks through that 2.6, 2.7, then all of a sudden 3, this thing could be quite a big runner. Thanks, Garrett. Oh, WRTC dropping to offering. Man. I gotta say, OSS was a good call out. It looks really, really interesting. WRTC, I don't see offering news on this one. One second, WRTC, did I spell it WRTC? I'd also expect even more sell-off for an offering. SINT has made a pretty impressive reversal so far. I gotta give it to it with its low volume. Very impressive. IDEX looks really, really healthy. I've been saying this, that intraday IDEX looks the best. I just really don't like its long term, and that's been keeping me at bay with IDEX this whole time. So I'm definitely missing some moves. I was overly biased, but I don't even really regret it, honestly, this time. So I'll just keep watching it. Maybe we'll trade it, small position size. Maybe not, I don't know. But so far, it's definitely gaining momentum here, crawling higher and higher. I'll be right back. Could take a little walk around. Wow, wow, wow. IDEX. Ooh, Lou, I have no idea about that topic. I really couldn't answer that. Maybe if the I have no, I'm not really sure. Maybe not though, as the parents might have already gotten more stimulus check if they had dependents. I'm not totally sure though. Something Google might know. Well, investing and day trading, Griffin, are two totally different things. So first, you'd probably want to figure out which one you want to do, and then start allocating those 10K accordingly. IDEX just had that great breakout of 3.55, huge news. The 30 was a really, Jay, that was a perfect entry on IDEX. That's kind of the one I wanted. I don't know, I didn't feel comfortable with it for some reason. Selena, yeah, I guess so. SINT, guys, looks really not too bad. I'm just constantly watching this one. Could be a potential entry. Nice, for sure, Griffin. Check out the 25K challenge overview video. See if maybe that style of trading fits something you'd like to learn, and then start checking out the streams. We go live every morning at 9:15 to first review the watch list, then we trade the market open. So if you want to learn more about the gap and go strategy, this is probably a good place to add to your resources. There's many good places to learn from. So this is just one. Do you pay for it? Do you pay for what? Ooh, nice to have you, Griffin. Welcome aboard. SINT, guys, still looking really, really good. Might try to get a pullback entry on SINT. No, it's just a YouTube video. It's in the video description below. Potential entry on SINT, watching it closely. Not sure if we're going to have a big pullback or if it's going to start breaking higher here with a potential break of 2.4. So right now I'm playing a bit more on the dip by potential, but might switch it up. IDEX having a bit of a pullback here. Thanks, David. Is IDEX going to have a retest here at 3.3? I think ThinkorSwim is totally exclusive to TD in terms of I think TD Ameritrade actually commissioned out to for it to get built. I forgot the name of the company building TOS, but I would have to look back into that. Yeah, we talk about that quite a lot, especially on the recap videos. We set our kind of our goals, our milestones, what our objectives are. On the live trading, I'm obviously a bit more focused on the charts, and every time I start talking about the overall challenge, I tend to miss something right in front of me, so I don't talk about that stuff too much on the streams. Here is SINT could be a reversal. I gotta say it's constantly quite enticing, but at the same time, I'm not like totally blown away by it. I was thinking about maybe buying a dip here, 3.5. Probably already be taking some of my profits because I'm not really sure if we're gonna get a break of 2.4. If I was already taking profits now, then Sounds good, Griffin. Make sure to leave any comments below if you have any questions. I answer them all myself, so just feel free to smack in a comment whenever you have and give me like 24, 48 hours and sometimes sooner, depends what I'm up to. 11:14, guys. I'm going to give this a little bit longer here, maybe 15 minutes or so, maybe a bit longer, depending on the activity, the action. Oof. My God, yeah, Gabrielle, that'd be a bit stressful. IDEX was so thickly traded. I don't really trust SINT, very low volume on this potential breakout. Not really what you want to be seeing on a move like this. EVOK actually looks really interesting right here. Big volume, second big green day, I would call it, this one on EVOK. This looks like it's going to break the 405 level. This is looking pretty healthy. Big buying power coming in here. This could be a bit of a reversal for sure. EVOK, 150% gapping pre-market, 24 million float, U.S. drug manufacturer company. It was one of the lead gappers on the day. FDA approval plus a price target upgrade to $10. So a lot of catalysts behind EVOK. It's just a lot of selling off we've seen on this one so far. Pre-market really held its highs okay, but the open was really shaky. I definitely got skunked a few times on EVOK so far. Put a limit order at 91 or 92 just in case. Quick pullback here on EVOK, looking for that potential break of big resistance zone. Through 98. Moving limit order for now, seeing what kind of pullback this is going to be. I just don't like the volume, Tammy. I don't like the volume I'm seeing on it. It doesn't warrant a breakout. That's what I don't like about it. EVOK could have had the entry at 92, but I removed my limit order mainly because I wanted to have a one candle pullback entry on it. Interesting support in this area. Let's just see how it goes here. SINT pulling back now. Second biggest volume on the day on the small caps that we're looking at. SINT pulling back a little bit here. Potential entry on it, I gotta say. 211 would be sweet, sweet entry. I'll have to check out the Fran trade. Carrot. Just a little focus on SINT right now and EVOK. Looks like it was a good thing we didn't get that pullback entry on it. Really was building up decent volume though in this area. Oh, BYFC, is that back in the game? Man, we were looking at BYFC like crazy on Friday. EVOK could be an entry at low 80s. Oh wow, what a sell-off on BYFC. Huge sell-off. Big support above the 3. Nice to see that area holding. I'd probably buy this on a maybe another 9-minute pullback or a little bit of a dip below. I think the reversal might have already happened. I would have probably liked my first entry here. Take some profits on this move. I like this so far. I like the overall daily. A big daily support on this one. Yeah, markets are very, very slow today overall. A little bit red, a little bit green. Actually, I like when the markets are kind of slow. It feels like the small caps are tend to do better, but overall the small caps really aren't doing much of anything today. That's too interesting. Oh man, I missed a lot of entries today. I think IDEX hands down was definitely the winner from like I really would have really liked trading this one after that red to green move or even on the red to green move. And then really these two pullbacks here as the main ones. Everything after 10:30, you know, it worked out this time, but I don't think I would have actually wanted to trade it, and that's why I didn't. So, but pretty sweet stuff. I mean, this one's pretty textbook, honestly. Nice, Michael. I'm not totally sure, Alex. Welcome though, if you're new. But I like to look at swing trading stocks a little bit more later in the day. I typically don't use my mornings to decide if I'm going to hold anything overnight or swing trade it. That's really when I'm focusing on the gap and go challenge strategy. I don't know. I would probably look at I would definitely look at SINT for potential continuation, but if it breaks 2 in the afternoon, then I probably would be a little bit less inclined to trade it. So, you know, that's kind of how I would start looking into this. I'd be really nervous with IDEX. Maybe it's going to have a blow off top at one point. Maybe it's really going to shoot through 4 and hit 7. I don't know. But at this point, you know, multi-week run up from like, what was that? Like 27 cents all the way to $3.5. I feel like the swing trade on this one, you know, would be the swing trade on this one would already be taking profit. So I probably would not look on IDEX, although it could have another big green day. You just don't know. EVOK, I don't know. It depends how it holds its highs later in the day. Yeah, EVOK is really, really trying here. Yep, always, Griffin. That's why when we start the live stream, we always talk about the watch list first. EVOK is going to try a breakout here. Thanks, Garrett. I'll keep that in mind, Marco, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull it off. Whoo, EVOK, quick sell off here. France having the same volume as SINT, or the same problem as SINT, where the volume here is really not favorable for a breakout. You can see we didn't even go over the high here, this shoulder. So it really shows that sellers are still in charge. 5.5 is big resistance zone. It's not super favorable for breakout trading. I think we're only at 3 trades for today. Very, very light for me. Yep. Maybe we'll snag one more trade. I don't know. Maybe not. I might actually... Typically, I'd be wrapping up in here in a few minutes, but maybe, you know, after I take a little bit of a break, maybe I see something pulling up later during the recap video. Maybe I'll even be able to snag a trade on the recap video. Who knows? On Friday, we were really close to making a trade on the recap video, but then... I don't know, didn't really get the follow through on the dip that I wanted. Nice, Jay. IDEX has been good to you today. Yeah, I think if anyone would have just kind of traded the obvious on IDEX, it would have been very profitable. You know, including for myself. I just kind of chickened out on IDEX, so I think that was my big mistake there. What I should have, could have, would have done is just traded it with just smaller position size, maybe half share size or something like that. Gotta say, still looking really, really good here. Breaking to new highs. Let's keep a close eye on this one. 3.5. Had that nice pullback here. Yeah, the volume on IDX is pretty nice. SINT pulling back here again, 216. We could check out SPCE. I haven't checked it out in quite a while. SPC looks like it did have that bigger breakout at about 1640. That could be an interesting trade on that. IDEX breaking out right now. Still pretty sweet move on IDEX. Looks like it's about to make a new high. Boom, there it goes. 366, 367. Right now, we're at all-time highs for IDEX. Oh, Lord. What's going to happen? Boom, broke out new highs again. Sweet move on IDEX. Yeah, on the 9-minute EMA downtrend break right here on that, I guess you could say it on a few places. Technically, maybe even here at 11:16, but this one really, really nice at 11:24. That would have been a really good one. I didn't really want to trade IDEX, but just kind of watching the price action here, just kind of for fun. Volume looks really healthy. BMRA breaking higher at 8. IDEX at 3.72 for a second. BMRA could be a nice 9-minute pullback here. All right, Corey, take care. Sweet, sweet, sweet moves here. Woohoo! Congrats to anyone on the IDEX trade. I'm letting this one kind of ride by me. I'm watching SPCE on the side, just kind of looking at it. We did several swing trades on SPCE in the past, so maybe I'll go ahead and talk about this one in the recap video a little bit later here. Definitely potential trade-worthy setup here. Oh man, IDEX. Talk about snoozing on a stock. Oh well. I'll just be back tomorrow. What can you do? Sometimes you miss them. Overly biased on IDEX on the fact that it was a multi-day runner. I've seen so many stocks like this just get halted into because of an offering, and then it drops after a 10x move from whatever the price is, let's say 360 or something, all the way back down to like $1 or something. So I was just not feeling like being stuck in that after 10:30. But I gotta say, in the morning, I would have really liked to trade it from like 9:30 onwards with the red to green move and so on. So that's how I would have, shoulda, coulda done IDEX, especially in these two pullbacks. But watching this area is hot, and I definitely dropped the ball here. Really sweet move here, 11%. Not the biggest mover, not the most aggressive mover, but still pretty good, especially for the fact of its float. 128 million float, guys, on IDEX. That's a huge float. Yeah, I feel you, Ian. EVOK, I don't know. I would like to see this one break above 4 again. I think if it breaks above 4, I'd probably start watching it again. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe a dip buy at one point, maybe even a swing trade at one point, 2.5 or 2.75, maybe even $3. These are huge support and resistance zones that we can maybe pick up the price. But I'm not sure if I'll enter this one. $3 is big time support and resistance, though. I think for now, I'm just kind of give it probably a break. I'll probably wrap up here. Kind of think about which ones might be swing tradable. SINT had a nice little pullback here, all the way to 211, bounced right back up. Partner, what do I think the best day trading website is? I have no idea. I'm not sure. It depends what you're looking for. I like FinViz to find some quick information on, but it's not really the best day trading information besides the floats. But yeah, I just use TD Ameritrade for most of my day trading, and then obviously FinViz. I use OTC markets for the SEC filings quite often. OTCmarkets.com I find quite nice. Those are pretty nice. But specifically for day trading, I'm not really sure. It depends what you're looking for. Yeah, that's true. EVOK does have a price target of $10 from a financial company, but I don't know. All right, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up here. Let's check out NIO quickly. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I think I'm going to call it a day here. We walked away with like $10 profit. Some pre-market trades kind of put me a little bit in the red. But overall, I'll take it for what it is. We had a lot of canceled trades today. Not really anything too crazy. So 2 red trades, 1 green trade, but we walked away green because ideally you want to keep those losses small and your wins bigger. That's all about having decent risk reward. Michael, who knows? Maybe. NIO, big resistance at 8. Kind of see that, it wasn't able to break 8 in the morning. Had a big sell-off, retested it. Again, big sell-off. Could be some really good dip buy opportunities around 6, maybe even 550. It's hard to say, but for now, it's definitely kind of kissing this area and trying to think a little bit. NIO, what to do here. I think if it breaks 8, it could be a really nice run, but might have to do a little bit of breather. Volume's fading, and we're at a high, so maybe this one is going to have a healthy pullback. SINT pulling back again here for like the 10,000th time. This could be a break at 2. Let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens. No really rush on a Monday. Never really want to feel rushed ever, but it's always good to be extra cautious on a Monday. Michael, I think you've asked us that question several times today, no? we're still coding, we're still working with software clients, we're still I work on Trade Journal every morning. I hope that answers your question, but yeah, man, we are. SINT broke that 210 level. So it'll be an interesting ride. Let's see if we could figure out if space will be a good swing trade. I think if we got a good entry on it, it probably would be. But I don't know, maybe it's going to pull back a little bit more. I'm not totally sure. It did have a big breakout there from kind of a pennant pattern. So that could be a good sign. I'll have to check the news and what not about it. I think it might still be not really ready, but we'll see. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Michael got 5 kids. Got his nuts slit. Yikes, how was that? That sounds intense. Amazon always along. I'll make sure to talk about some long-term swing trades a little bit more in the recap video. There's not really too much day trading to talk about today. I think, honestly, I don't know. IDEX was really the best one to trade today, and that one I was just way too cautious on, so it is what it is. Right now it's at 390. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you have not done so already, definitely consider dropping a like. I really appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, just a quick reminder, we go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. to first review the watch list and trade the market open every day. I'd love to see you guys join the community. Let's wrap up here, and I'll see you guys for the recap video today. Till then, stay safe and make some awesome trades, guys. Ciao, ciao.